Hi, everybody. Good afternoon if you're on Eastern Standard Time. Um, I guess it's afternoon in most places in the United States, and or almost afternoon. And if you're in other places, it might be evening. So it's good to have you here. I am so happy to be here. It is kind of a surprise day, I guess. I didn't plan on doing a reading today, but it's been kind of a rainy day. It's been hot, sunny, downpour. Then sunny, then downpour, sunny, downpour. So I've been in and out all day, doing a little work around my yard and trying to get some things done so I can get my Reiki tent and my reading tent set up again like it used to be. And I'm kind of excited about it. I really am excited about it. I've been kind of out there, kind of imagining what I'm going to put where, and then I realized I still had a table, a folding table left that I could set up, and it'll be so much more space than what I have right now. Because right now I'm like very limited and kind of claustrophobic outside, in my little screen porch area. So with that, with all the in and out, and sweating. I finally said, just go take a shower, cool off, and do a reading. Do a reading. What a great solution for the day. So, the title of the video in the reading is the archetype of the addict. Now, when I say the addict, I am not necessarily meaning um, addiction as far as chemical substance abuse and alcohol. It can be, but it doesn't need to be. Um, and we have the light attribute and the shadow attributes. Here's a card here. Um, but we can be addicted in so many different ways. We can be addicted to procrastination. We can be addicted to work. We can be addicted to um, love. We can be addicted to reading. Then an addiction isn't always, it might always be compulsive, but it may not necessarily be bad for us um, unless it's taking us away from the needed things that need to be done or things that need our attention. So, with that, I just wanted to do that little spiel because the word addict, and when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I want to touch this one. Um, but then I read the two attributes, and it's like, no, this kind of works. And the three questions I will be asking is how this energy is shaping your current chapter, where you're being invited to leap, and where you're being asked to pause. And then we will do a strength card and also an obstacle card. And then I have two other, or wait, three other oracle cards. So the light attribute is usually the higher energy. It is the higher energy. And the light attribute of the archetype addict. And the archetypes are just like personalities, our characteristics, our personalities. So the light attribute for the addict archetype is helps you recognize and confront addictive behaviors. So when something is getting in your way and you're seeing, oh, I'm spending a little too much time on this and taking away from this, which I need to be paying attention to, that's what the attribute will do. It will help you to realize what's being neglected in your life. The shadow attribute compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. So if that's something that's going on, you're the only one that knows really if it's you have the light attribute of the addict or the shadow attribute. And we all have either or. So I've had the shadow many times in my life. And because I am a person that is, I want to say I'm a recovered alcoholic and addict. I never used to like that word, recovered, but I do believe that that is what and who I am today. I don't have any desires whatsoever to go back to that lifestyle. And I'm not finding I need the typical way of life that I needed for a long time. That fellowship, that camaraderie. So with that, I have definitely seen the shadow attributes where, yeah, integrity was compromised, and um, and it did. It took over my spirit. It took over my inner spirit. So light attribute. I hope most days of my life today are in light attribute. That doesn't mean that the shadow does not creep in, because it does. The shadow is kind of like, in my view, the way I want to look at this and the way I would like to kind of define it is sin, that shadow attribute, and it's usually the instant gratification type of behavior. You know, if I want something, I want it now, or I wanted it yesterday. That can bring in the compromising of integrity and honesty, and it also can um, have authority over my inner being, my inner spirit. So I know for me, it's something I have to look out for. And those are also things, the shadow attributes are also things that I call old behaviors that I use to manipulate people. I use to, um, you know, get whatever I wanted or needed to continue the life I was living. So today I try very, very hard to stay away from shadow attributes. Does not mean I always do, just means I try on a daily basis. I ask my higher power, my divine source, my God, to help me through the day to do the next right thing and in a godly way, a godly path. So, with that, I just wanted to kind of go over, the addict archetype. I find that word to be a little difficult to say. So, the first card I'm going to draw, and you know what? I'm going to put these in a different order. Here we go. The first card is going to be how this energy is shaping your current chapter. So, the first card we have, um, well, it's shaping the Six of Cups. So this archetype, and it fits so perfectly. It really does fit perfectly. This is all about, you know, we all, when we come to this earth, when we choose the life the womb we go into, and the life that the life path that we have journeyed to be on. Um, we have a lot of, we have a road to travel, and on that road, we are destined. I've just put my dog down just recently, and seeing the puppy and then the adult dog. I had my dog since she was, I think it was 8 weeks old, and as a puppy, and it's she was just there for me for 8.5 years. She was there by my side. Anyway, let's get back. So we have a lot of pink in here. We have a lot of unconditional love. We have some like yellow here, which is emotions. Um, Emotions are definitely along our journey and our path, the memories that we make, the connections that we make, the love that we bring into our hearts and souls, um, on the path that we're on. They That's all like really deep setted emotions, deep setted memories. We have now, as a little boy here, there's that light blue, which is communicating. And look at how this little guy is communicating with that puppy. It's like my best friend. We're going to go in this life journey together. Um, People, let me tell you about my best friend. Um, that song's coming up. I don't know why. I haven't watched that show, and I can't even remember the name of the show, but that's the song that's coming up. So then we come down here, and he's wearing the indigo pants. And the indigo is a third eye, okay? That is the intuition. That is being able to go within and know the inner truth. So, as we're coming along this journey and we're going through our life path, we're creating all of our memories. And not all our memories are great memories, but they're memories. And they'll each and everything that happens along the life journey makes us who, let me make sure I have the right picture, makes us who we become in the present day. And a lot of times, when we have the poor me's, and the poor me's, and I get them, okay? I have to remember that everything in my life, everything, good, bad, and indifferent, everything has been a big, big amount of stuff that has brought me to who I am today. And I needed each and every one of those things to make me the beautiful person that I am today. And I don't use the term beautiful as in, oh, I'm gorgeous, look at me. I use it as beautiful. We all have beauty. We are all the beautiful creations of God. And all of my life brought the memories as a child. It's all brought me to, and look at the face on this gentleman. We went from this little naive youngster, just, nothing's going to happen to us. We're going to conquer the world, to this, like, thank you. Thank you for getting me through that life. Thank you for helping me along that journey. Thank you for being part of my path. And if you look at that face, that is a person that is just looking back and saying, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. And that's what's coming through right now. This is what I'm being led to say in this reading at this moment. So with the light attribute, you know, recognizing that, and it's exactly what I said earlier, we can either be a victim or we can be empowered. And when we're victims, we're always on the defense. We're always like, people are out to get us, and that's a victim role. Afraid, afraid to let people in. Um, I'm going to get you before you get me. So, but when you look at it like, yeah, that hurt. What can I learn from this? What good can I bring out of this? And when you when you approach life in that way, then you're able to recognize and confront whatever behavior is going to take you back into a lower energy, into doing something destructive for your life. When it's shadow, um, like, we're going to assume that this is okay. We have a puppy, the puppy with us. We love the puppy. We had to put the puppy to sleep. We're just going to use that scenario. The loss. If you took that loss and instead of like remembering how that puppy shaped your life and just got angry and mad because the puppy's gone, the dog is gone, your best friend is gone, then what you'll do often in a shadow attribute is you'll turn that pain inward, and you will treat yourself or others around you poorly. So that's how the addict archetype is going to be shaped in this with this card. Wow. Okay. Wow. I always love that card. I really always love that card. All right. So where you're being invited to leap. Ooh. Oh. Okay. I did shuffle all the cards and I chose them prior to. I didn't look at them. I just put them out. A couple of them I saw a glimpse of them, but I didn't really get into looking at them. And I did that just to save myself some space here. So for where you're being invited to leap, we have the Three of Swords. Swords are an air element, are the mind and thoughts. And this card always represents a lot of excruciating pain. Now, the light attribute, if you are a person that is always trying to stay in your light attribute persona, what you will do is you will recognize the pain and you will realize that yes, it is painful, but I don't have to stay here. My wounds have been my wounds have been stitched up, bandaged, and this string that is around my heart, around my soul, around myself, I can easily take it off, take them all off, and unbind myself from the pain and heal, not only physically, but emotionally. That would be the light attribute in what you're being invited to, how you're being invited to lead. I would say that would be both of them. You're being invited to look at your pain, identify the pain, know what the pain is doing to you physically, mentally, and spiritually. And then pick up the pieces, take off the ropes that are keeping you tied down, and gracefully put your heart back into your chest and walk forward. Walk forward in spirit. And those wounds will be completely healed and be replaced by happy things. And sometimes when you're in this space, it's hard to believe that you'll ever be happy again. But no, the mind has power. The mind can either play tricks on you, or the mind can empower you to get you through anything at all. I see there's a couple of people in here. If you say hello, I'll at least know who it is. And if you have any questions or anything, I can talk to you. I can't really type back, but I just moved my little sheet over so I can see if anyone does. But please say hello. I'd love to ask to pause. Okay. Energy. Sevens are a very, I'm going to tell you what the sevens are. Sevens are a powerful number, and God is surrounding 707. No, this is double numbers. Oops. I want single. The energy of magic is surrounding you. Align your thoughts with the highest. So here we go, aligning with the highest. That's awesome. Um, so the Seven of Pentacles. Here we go. We have this person, male, female. I don't care what gender you are. You know, this is a person, and what you're doing is you are planting your roots. And this is okay. So we have this. We have our path that we've traveled from a young child into adulthood, whatever that path may be. Um, the message here is that you go from youth, like birth, you know, a young child of innocence, and through life you become an adult person with experiences, and those experiences shape you along the way. Then you have the heartbreaks. You know, you have the things that you would have liked to live without, but oh well, too bad, so sad. We got that pain, and you had to either choose to let it own you or let it go, and heal. And now we have roots being planted. So again, when you plant your roots, whether it be light attribute or shadow attribute, you want to be sure that whatever soil it is that you're choosing to plant these seeds, to plant these roots, that this soil is going to be healthy, that it's going to have all of the right nutrients that will build a strong plant. Um, your tree, I think of the tree of life. You know, the tree of life, the roots go down deep into the soil, and they're strong, and they build the strong, um, the bark of the tree, the strong tree stem, and then all the branches, you know, and it flourishes. It's beautiful and it flourishes. And, you know, you need to be sure that wherever you're planting your seeds, your tree, that it's not going to put you in a dangerous place where addictive behaviors might be picked up on. And there are all, like I said, there's all kinds of different addictions, you know. And addictions can be difficult. I don't care if it's smoking cigarettes, I don't care if it's substances, alcohol, gambling, money, love. I mean, that it's going to be a healthy place for you, healthy in body, mind, spirit, and soul. And you don't want to be compromising, ever compromising your integrity, your honesty, or allowing any kind of addictive situations to take over in new soil. You're going to be planting in new soil, and that could be a new job, moving into a new home. It could be moving into a new state. It could be a lot. It could be just having a new family. You know, getting married and having children. That's planting new seeds, planting new roots. So whatever it is, just make sure that your addict archetype is going to be in a healthy situation so that you can build this beautiful inner you. So now we're going to talk about the strength. What strength card? Your strength. I always like this one too. This is the Ten of Wands, and I don't know why. I like this card. This is a card that tells me I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Not sure where I'm going. Not sure where I'm going to end up. But I'm taking everything with me, and I'm believing. I'm believing that wherever I end up, it's going to be in a very beautiful place within. There'll be happiness, joy, and peace. So the colors I see here. So this is the Ten of Wands. And if you notice, there's a lot of yellow here. That's really the main color. The rest is all kind of like a grayish and a brown. And the grayish colors, and there's a light blue up here, but it's not really a light blue. It's kind of like an indigo blue, which tells me intuition brought her down this path. She's being led with by intuition. She didn't just say, "Okay, I'm just leaving. I don't care where I go." She's leaving knowing that she will be guided by faith. And the gray hill, that's the uncertainty, and there's a lot of times in life we don't really know where we're going to end up. We don't really know why certain things are going on, but we have the faith to know that everything's going to be okay. And that's what this card gives me. It gives me the faith to know that no matter where this path takes me, where this oxen, I think that's, yep, an oxen, where this oxen drops my belongings and myself, that it's going to be a God driven place, and I'm going to be okay because I know I'm being led by the strength and courage that I need on this path. That's your strength. That's the strength. The obstacle, this is the one I got a little bit of a glimpse of. This is the Five of Wands. There are going to be obstacles trying to keep you from moving onto your path, trying to keep you from planting the seeds and the roots of whatever new life you're meant to have, trying to keep you from having those beautiful memories along the way, and not only have the ones from the past, but also to have memories for the future. And they're trying to keep you stuck in that pain. So these challenges, these are, if you notice, this person's almost to the top, almost reaching that fire within. But all these other people are just trying, no, you're not gonna get it. We're not gonna let you get the fire within. We're gonna keep you from reaching the top. We're gonna keep you from that 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 burning desire. And all I can say, these are the obstacles. These are what are going to get in the way. All I can say is don't let anything or anyone stop you from the light within, the fire within, the burning desire. You need to keep that fire going. You need to keep that burning desire going. And there will be obstacles along the way. Those are my 5 cards. Okay. I, whew, okay. My sixth sense card. We have hospitality, big heart in the middle there. And it says the special ability God gives to some to provide an open home and warm welcome to those in need of food, lodging, and fellowship. Ah, that's so beautiful. Now I'm going to do, I picked a lover's card because I really truly believe that we need to love ourselves. And it is when we love ourselves that God will give us enough love to give out to another person. So we have, this person here, basically a bare body, um, and she's just lying there, and she's looking into a lake or a pond or whatever it is, and she sees her reflection. Now, the light is shining through there, and she's resting. She doesn't see her. I'm sorry, she doesn't see her reflection. She's just lying there. But what what you do see is peace. You see peace. Very quietly and peacefully fall asleep. Like, no, I don't even know if she's what, close her eyes and be at total rest. So they also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. Oh, that is so true. Um, I used to hear in the, I used to hear when I was very active in the fellowships of recovery that um, resentments are one of the number one things that take people out. The other thing they used to say is new meetings were created with a resentment and a coffee pot. It's it's so true. You know, resentments will either destroy you or they'll make you move on to something else. So our Archangel Michael here, it's number 40. You're ready for more. So our addict archetype, you're ready for more. And it says, and this has got a chrysanthemum here, and it is a beautiful magenta color, which is unconditional love. And she's wearing a purple scarf around her neck, which is connection to spirit. We also have the blue in the background. I think that's about it. Plus all the sparklies all around the flower, which is spirit. You know, spirit's just, I always think of Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, the fairy dust and the magical fairy dust. That's what the career is growing and blossoming. Now is the time to make the changes you have been contemplating. So that's it. That is our reading for today. It was really great to do an extra one. I want to try really hard to be in here more often. Um, but I'm also, a working girl, so it's not as easy as I would like. And if I could do this and only this in my scripture talks, I would be one happy, happy woman. So, with that, I just hope that you enjoyed this. And if you did, great. Make sure you subscribe, like it. And if you know someone else that might get something out of this reading, please share it with them. Okay, and have a very, very blessed. Be blessed.